determined it to get much more fun than that.
Yeah, it was a good performance. It's great to play in front of a good crowd, and to play as well as that and come away with a win was good. It's a real platform to play the Aussies next week.
How good a performance would you say it was, Steve?
I think it was really controlled, really measured, really efficient, effective, those type of words. And we knew it had to be that way if we're going to get across New Zealand. So we felt it was the best way to approach this game against the opposition we were playing against. And we had to show that patience, because I will say that I think they must have held us up over the try line 4 times, and it was a tremendous effort from them to do that, but a real step in the right direction from ourselves in terms of being able to deal with that and cope with that, and manage to keep the pressure on the opposition. So yeah, it's pretty good.
How good were the back three tonight, Steve?
I thought everyone played really well. They are playing well as a unit. That back three, there's no two ways about that, and they're in sync with each other at this moment in time. But to single just out 3 would be wrong, because the whole group did their jobs. We spoke before the game about individually doing your job, your individual job, to the very best of your ability. And I think our players got pretty close to that tonight.
You talk about individuals, but we can ask you about James Graham. Seemed to get a bad knock and didn't seem to affect him. And Jamie, I guess, has been talking about his bad knock all week, hasn't he? How about your props? Are they worth a mention?
Yeah, they're fine. I mean, it's probably helped Jamie. He's not trained all week, so he's as fresh as the days. At his age and number of games he's had, it's probably done him the world of good. But he's shown it time and time again in terms of how courageous he is and putting his hand up. And we certainly wouldn't have played him tonight if he wasn't fit. There was no way we would do that and jeopardise the team. But I just think the way he leads us on the field and off the field gives everyone a big lift.
Jamie, you've been this way before since 2004. Where do you think England, confidence levels, and where do you think you are going into this game?
Yeah, we're confident, but we know how good the opposition are. We probably in 2004 we got carried away with ourselves, and we'd probably come in with more momentum. We'd beaten Australia, I think, and then beaten the Kiwis twice. Where we've only beat the Kiwis, got beat last week. So there's not as much momentum as last time, and I think definitely we got carried away with thinking about the end result rather than the actual game itself. But I think we've shown in 2009 that we can get into a final and play well in a final, and I think we'll take our experiences out of the 2009 final. There's probably only 3 of us left from 04 as well. So.
What about Kevin Sinfield's kicking, Steve? That was a bonus as well. He wasn't missing anything.
No, and again, when it's needed, Kev comes up with the goods. And going into the game, it was a strange situation, because whilst ever it was 0-0, we were out of the competition. It was 0-0 for a long period of time, and we spoke in depth with Kevin during the week about reading the game and reading the scoreboard and just having one eye on making sure that draw didn't come into the equation. And I think he's playing really, really well. I think he's been complimented by some very good players around him, but I just think the way, again, he's leading us at this moment in time is very good.
Steve, how important was the crowd tonight?
Unbelievable. Look, the players are probably as well talking about it. I've told them all along what an old crowd would be like. There's no two ways about that. I took them on the marina this morning to show them a bit of heritage on Hull, and went on the pier and what have you, and looked at the P&O ferries from a distance and showed them a little bit of what Hull was about. But even down to the hotel, the staff in the hotel, all rugby league fans, all supporting the players, giving them as much help as they could throughout our stay. The crowd are just sensational. There's just no two ways about it. It makes a huge difference. It made a big difference, and if we can get every single one of them to go buy a ticket for Ellen Road next week, on top of everybody else who will be going, and pack that stadium out, that gives us a huge advantage.
And they certainly enjoyed Tom Briscoe's try.
Yeah, they did. I'm sure they did, and everybody, there was a bit of talk beforehand, about what would happen with Sam Tompkins, and I assured him I'd give my house to him if he got booed tonight. There's no way an old crowd would ever do that, and the support all the players got is tremendous, and it's a real credit. It's a real credit to the city of Hull, the people of Hull. I know there's other people who obviously have come from out of town, but the city of Hull should be really, really proud of its people tonight.
Sam seemed to take a few high shots, but it didn't bother him really, did it?
No, he had a little bit of a wobbly start, didn't we, when we never fielded a kick, but I thought it was really strong after that. And again, he's a tough little bugger, and he bounces back every single time he gets put down. And I think he's growing and growing as you see, forget his international experience. Yeah, he's been around for 3 years, but it's not a lot of games within that 3-year period. I think you're starting to see some of our young players blossom. Now they're getting 6 and 7 games against that standard of opposition under the belts.
Steve, after last year, I mean, from your own personal point of view, it's a big 2 scalp for you as well, isn't it? You know, disappointing last year, but...
Well, you say it was disappointing. I don't. It was part of the journey, and that's where you get mixed up. That's where you get mixed up. You know, the work we're doing now is on top of all the previous good work that other coaches have done, and going on a tour like we was tour last year puts us in a far better position long term to achieve international success. And you judge it on its own. You know, it's extremely tough. You go on tour and you're playing bloody Australia and New Zealand in their own backyards with 1 and 2 in the world, and we took a young side without people like that, the experience of people like Jamie Peacock, and those players have learned and grown from that experience, and so are better players this time round.
How close was Gareth Harris playing tonight, Stu?
Pretty close, but there was no way we'd risk, like I said, like with Jamie and everybody else, what we've got going throughout the team, and Gareth was pretty distraught that he couldn't play, but understood that it was right for the team. Hopefully he'll be available next week and give us again some more headaches to work out.
Steve, what do you think of the Isaac Luke Rangy chase incident just before half time?
Pretty poor.
Sick kind of felt his best. John Wilkin came in and played 80 minutes.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, he did. John's got a great engine. He's not the biggest, we know that, but he's a very clever player. And when we speak about composure and control and smart rugby league, John's up there with the best of them in our competition. And to play 80 minutes, we kept looking at possibly giving him a rest, but he was going too well, and so we left him out there.
Any more questions, guys? Just ask about Rangy. I mean,
yeah,
that's about the incident. But how is he? I mean, how's he? Were you worried about how he would handle the game against New Zealand? As he come through?
No, I mean, and I think that was his most controlled performance in an England shirt. We all know, and I thought he produced some really nice plays for us and created some opportunities for us. But his control throughout the game was a real measure of where that kid's starting to develop.
Steve, just a word on Tom Briscoe scoring on his own ground in front of his home fans. Nice moment for him.
Yeah, Tom doesn't say many words. He says please and thank you and good morning. That's about it. But Tom's a pretty straightforward guy, but he's making a major contribution. I'm sure he's more delighted for his team as opposed to just scoring at the KC Stadium. But certainly, it was a special occasion for everybody involved tonight, playing in this arena in front of this crowd, and Tom will be included in that.
Thank you. Okay, cheers.